Discovered, the incredible, heartwarming reason a young countess abandoned her baby on a bridge. The chill in the air felt like a cruel reminder that hope was hard to come by. Emily trudged along the worn-out path, her weary heart aching under the weight of her responsibilities. At 32, she had lost her husband to a devastating accident, a sudden storm that swept him away like a fleeting dream. Now, as a waitress in 2 bustling eateries, she pressed on, one foot in front of the other, fueled by memories and the laughter of her 2 children waiting for her at home. As she crossed the old wooden bridge, a familiar rustle in her chest stilled her steps. The sun dipped low, casting a warm golden hue on the horizon, but her heart felt heavy. It was then she spotted a brilliant flash of color, a strikingly elegant blanket, swaddling something small. She approached, her pulse quickening, to find a baby nestled within it, delicate and warm, like a precious miracle abandoned in the most unlikely of places. Tears pooled in Emily's eyes, the sight struck her right to the core. This child, so innocent and helpless, seemed to symbolize everything she lacked: the luxury of a carefree life, a loving family, a world far removed from her struggles. Yet, in that moment, she recognized a duty within herself. She had to do the right thing. Gritting her teeth, she picked up the baby, embracing its fragile warmth. The little one squirmed, a tiny hand grasping her finger, and Emily felt a flicker of life igniting within her tired soul. She carried the child to the local authorities, each step tinged with bittersweet resolve. Her heart ached for the mother who must have felt a colossal weight of anguish, yet she could not fathom abandoning her own. As the authorities took the baby from her, Emily knew this decision would unravel a series of events she never anticipated. Days turned into sleepless nights, haunted by the baby's soft cries echoing in her mind. She dug deeper, hunting for the baby's identity, finding herself wrapped in a tale more tangled than her own. Through her search, she discovered Lady Isabella, a young countess trapped in an ornate tower of royal obligations, yearning for freedom and love. Their worlds collided, the humble waitress and the gilded countess, each carrying heartache like a badge of honor. They shared stories of sacrifice, loss, and the societal expectations that weighed heavily on their shoulders. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Just as hope blossomed between Emily and Isabella, offering a reunion for mother and child, a scandal erupted, wielding rumors sharper than daggers. Prejudice wrapped around them like a vice, threatening to crush the fragile bond they forged. Emily's determination to see justice served clashed with Isabella's fear of societal rejection, leaving them hanging on the precipice of an uncertain future, a moment thick with tension. What would become of their entwined fates? Would societal barriers hold sway over matters of love? As silence wrapped around them, an undeniable question lingered: could they find the courage to fight for what truly mattered? The air grew heavy with the unspoken words that hung between them, a fragile thread of hope fighting against the weight of scornful whispers. Emily stared into Isabella's eyes, searching for a flicker of strength, the same light that had drawn her to the Countess's world. She felt the urgency of time. Every moment they spent wrestling with fears only brought them closer to losing what they had begun to build. "Isabella, we can't let this ruin us," Emily finally said, her voice barely breaking through the tension. "You deserve to hold your baby, to love him without fear. I know the world is cruel, but together, we can find a way." Isabella's delicate features tightened with anxiety. "You don't understand, Emily. They won't accept a countess who abandons her child. The scandal, the papers will have a field day. My family. They'll cast me out forever. I can't risk it." "But what about your child? He needs you," Emily pressed softly, stepping closer, as if to physically bridge the divide between their worlds. In that moment, Isabella's resolve cracked. A single tear slipped down her cheek, her facade of icy nobility melting away. You don't understand what it means to be a noblewoman. We are meant to maintain order, to protect the family name above all else. It's suffocating. Emily's heart ached for her. Isn't love worth the risk? She murmured, her mind racing with thoughts of her own children. She couldn't imagine being torn away from them. Isabella turned her gaze away, fingers trembling as she pressed them to her lips, as if trying to hold back the enormity of her emotions. The tension between them was electric with possibilities. Emily grasped the edges of her waitress apron, feeling the fabric close around her like a shield. You have a chance to choose love. We can fight together against those expectations. I know you're terrified. I am too. But let us start a new story, one that belongs to us and our children. In a whirlwind, the thought of fate's twist surged within her. What if she could inspire Isabella to defy the chains of expectation, to embrace her role not just as a countess, but as a mother? Amid the bustling town's liveliness, they found themselves alone in that moment, sitting at the precipice of rebellion against their respective lives. The warm hues of dusk shadowed their faces, a silent ally in their tumult. Will you help me find a way? Isabella's voice trembled as she looked at Emily. The hope in her gaze ignited a fire in Emily's heart, a fierce, primal urge to protect and champion this young mother. Absolutely, Emily pledged, feeling certainty wash over her. But even as the words left her lips, fresh rumors swirled outside the frame of their fragile alliance. A gathering storm of intrigue threatened to expose Isabella's truth before she could even grasp it herself. The call of fate rang loudly, pushing them toward an inevitable confrontation. Emily, what if they find out before we're ready? Isabella's voice quivered. Emily clenched her fists, the weight of the impending battle pressing down on her. Could they withstand the onslaught of gossip? What if their pursuit of love led only to heartache? As shadows stretched over the bridge, a new tension gripped their hearts, the uncertainty of a world that was all too ready to tear them apart. What would come next? Would love truly guide them through the storm, or would the society they defied break them? The time to act was slipping away. Emily watched as the sun sank lower, casting long shadows that seemed to wrap around them like a second skin. The urgency of their situation chased the last bits of daylight away. Each passing moment felt like a countdown, ticking toward what could either be their liberation or their doom. Isabella's thoughts flickered in her eyes, confusion battling with fear. Do you really think we can win this? Overcome the world's expectations? Her voice was barely above a whisper, yet it echoed in Emily's chest. We have to try, Emily replied, more fiercely than she intended, willing the Countess to believe in their cause. What kind of life will it be if we don't? A life stifled by fear? A love locked away? Isabella hesitated, her eyes drifting to a child playing on the green grass nearby. He laughed, oblivious to the weight of the world, his joy undeniable and infectious. The sight made Isabella ache. She was filled with longing and regret at the thought of her own baby tucked away, a secret to be hidden. Maybe love can be enough, Isabella finally said, determination flickering in her depths, though the shadows of doubt still loomed large. Love is the only thing that matters. Emily reached for her hand, feeling the coolness of Isabella's skin contrast with her own warmth. A flicker of hope ignited between them, reminding Emily of what really fueled their bond. But just then, a shrill voice sliced through their moment, pulling them back to the reality of their lives. Isabella! There you are! A man emerged from the shadows, his eyes narrowing as he took in the scene. It was Lord Harrington, one of Isabella's closest relatives and a gossipmonger known for his sharp tongue and sharper ambition. Isabella stiffened, pulling her hand away as if she had been burned. Henry! What are you doing here? Panic skittered across her face like raindrops on glass, pooling in her worry. Henry fixed his gaze on Emily, sizing her up with barely concealed disdain. I'd ask you the same, but I can guess. A servant knows too much about the affairs of her betters, he said, a smirk creeping into his voice. Emily's heart raced. She could feel the weight of his judgment, the fiery heat of shame creeping up her neck. Quickly, she stepped forward, an unexpected rush of defiance swelling within her. I might be a servant, but that doesn't make my heart any less true. Isabella deserves love, regardless of the opinions of those who think they're better. Henry laughed, the sound harsh and mocking. What a romantic notion. But you know nothing of our world, do you? It will always be about positions and reputations. You'll ruin her if this gets out. A chill shot through the air, freezing Emily for a heartbeat. Was he right? Could risking everything lead to failure? Isabella's eyes darted nervously between them. This isn't just about you, Isabella. It's about the baby. Emily pleaded, sensing the space between them growing tighter. Our desires are so much bigger than their expectations. Isabella's chest rose and fell rapidly, her expression torn. Could this be the beginning of her freedom or the end of her dreams? The silence held them hostage, and in that moment, Emily realized they had come to a crossroads. Choices lay ahead like forked paths in a dense forest, one leading to love, the other to despair. What will you choose, Isabella? The question lingered in the air, thick with possibility. In that moment, as shadows loomed ever closer, Emily caught a glimpse of the battle raging within her friend. Could she believe in what they were fighting for, or would fear lead them down a darker path? The uncertain future stretched out like an uncharted map before them, vulnerable yet filled with hope. What action would they take now? The stakes had never been higher. Isabella's breath hitched, her gaze falling to the ground as weighty silence enveloped them. Emily felt the urgency prickling her skin, every second holding the power to change everything. Lord Harrington shifted, impatience radiating from him like heat from a furnace. Isabella, he said, drawing closer, his voice a low sneer. You've always been one to dream. But you have a responsibility. You must act like a lady of your station. The family name depends on it. Is that all you care about? Emily interjected, her heart pounding as she faced him, resolving to stand her ground. A name? What good is a name without the strength to love? Henry's eyes sparked with surprise but quickly settled into cold amusement. Love? You think love can withstand the scrutiny of society? You think they won't tear you apart if they discover your little secret? His words curled like smoke through the air. Enough. Isabella's voice pierced the tension, loud and authoritative. The moment felt electric. You don't understand the depth of what I feel. It's not just about me anymore. Emily looked at her, the determination flickering in Isabella's eyes, and felt hope swell inside her chest. Isabella, what do you want? I want. Isabella paused, her voice trembling. I want to create a world where my baby can be loved openly. I want to be free. Her confession rang out, each word bittersweet, filled with the weight of unspoken desires. A flicker of vulnerability crossed Henry's face. You'll ruin yourself, he said, his tone shifting slightly. You'll bring disgrace not just upon yourself, but upon the entire family. Think of the consequences. Emily seized the moment, stepping forward, fervent. She has thought about it, and so have I. But love is worth the fight. It's worth everything. You don't get to dictate her choices. The air crackled between them, and Isabella's expression hardened. You're wrong, Henry. My heart will not be a prisoner to expectations anymore. I deserve to make my own decisions, and I choose Emily. I choose love. For a moment, it felt as if time had stopped. Henry's surprise transformed into outrage. Love. You think that will protect you? The world will swallow you whole. Maybe it will, Isabella replied, fire igniting in her words. But I'd rather face the world with love than hide in silence. Henry took a step back, realization dawning that his advantage was slipping. You're making a monumental mistake, Isabella. When the truth comes out, you'll see how alone you really are. As he turned to leave, Emily felt a surge of urgency rise within her. Don't you dare come back to threaten her. Her voice cracked slightly, passion igniting her words. "Think wisely, both of you," Henry bit out, backing away, his eyes narrowed like a hawk ready to strike. Once he disappeared into the gathering shadows, the weight of what they had just confronted settled over Emily and Isabella, dense but not suffocating. "Isabella," Emily whispered, heart racing. "What are we going to do now?" Isabella took a deep breath, steadying herself. "We need a plan. We can't let fear drive us any longer. But we also can't make decisions rashly." "I'll stand by you, whatever you decide," Emily replied, the warmth in her heart easing the tension in the air. "Then let us start by making a move. We need to tell someone who can help us, someone who could understand," Isabella suggested. Emily's mind raced. Who could possibly help them navigate this frightening path? The sun dipped below the horizon, shadows deepening, but within that darkness, they felt a glimmer of hope. "Tomorrow, we'll take the first step," Emily declared, squeezing Isabella's hand again, their bond firmer now, shining through emerging uncertainty. Could they find the courage to fight against their chains, or would doubt return to shackle them once more? The new day awaited, and with it, the freedom they dreamed of hung tantalizingly just out of reach. Morning light broke over the horizon, spilling golden rays into the small room Emily and Isabella shared. The air felt charged with anticipation, heavy with the possibilities of the new day. Emily sat at the edge of the bed, twisting her hands nervously, her thoughts racing. "Isabella," she said softly, glancing at Isabella's still form under the blankets. "Are you ready?" Isabella stirred, her eyes fluttering open. They sparkled with resolve, a stark contrast to the heaviness that had been there the night before. "Today is the day," she murmured, pushing herself up on her elbows. "No more hiding, no more fear." Emily's heart swelled at her courage. "We can start by meeting Olivia. She was always an ally to us. If anyone can help, it's her." Without waiting for a response, she dashed to the window, the cool breeze ruffling through the sheer curtains. The estate sprawled before her, an expanse of lush lawns and perfectly trimmed hedges. But beyond the beauty lay the chains of expectation. What if she won't understand? Isabella asked, her voice tinged with worry. Emily turned, crossing the room to take her hand. "We can't let doubt creep in. We must be honest. About everything." As they left the room, a sense of weightlessness filled the hallway. Their determination transformed the oppressive manor into a lighter space, a living maze filled with echoes of laughter and sunlight breaking through the clouds. When they finally found Olivia in the garden, surrounded by blooming flowers, she looked up and smiled. The warmth of the sun highlighted her gentle features, but the moment her gaze landed on Isabella, her smile faltered. "What's wrong?" Olivia asked, her brow furrowing with concern. Isabella drew in a shaky breath, the sound trembling between them. "I need your help, Olivia. I can't do this alone anymore." Emily squeezed Isabella's hand, silently offering support. "What is it?" "Just tell me," Olivia urged, stepping closer. With a swift push of courage, Isabella started, "I'm having a child and I love someone who society says I shouldn't." Her words came tumbling out, each syllable a jolt of fear mixed with hope. Olivia's eyes widened, retreating a step as if a physical blow had struck her. "You're what?" "Isabella, that's." Emily could feel the air thickening with tension. She's ready to fight for her love, to stand for her baby. "We want to find a way forward." She felt a surge of emotion building in her chest. "Will you help us?" Olivia fell silent, staring between them. The hesitation wrapped around them, coiling tighter. Then, slowly, she nodded. "If you truly want this, I'll stand by you." Relief washed over Emily and Isabella like a wave on the shore, but Olivia's face shifted, the weight of her decision settling in. "But we need to be careful. I don't want this to blow up in your faces." "Then we must be strategic," Isabella replied, newfound strength resonating in her voice. As they spoke of plans and strategies to gain their independence, the world outside seemed to fade away. With every shared word, laughter chipped at the fear that had held them captive, but just as they began to outline their next steps, the sound of approaching footsteps made them freeze. The sharpness of reality cut through the fragile cocoon they had woven. "Isabella! You're needed in the parlor." A voice boomed from behind them, jolting their conversation to a startled halt. Emily's stomach dropped, dread gnawing at her insides. "What do we do?" she whispered, panic flaring in her eyes. Isabella's face paled. "It's my mother. She'll want to hear my plans, but I can't let her know. Stay strong," Emily urged, her grip tightening. "Whatever happens next, remember your choice." The door to the garden swung open, revealing a glimpse of the world they were trying to fight against. Would Isabella find the strength to keep her truth hidden while navigating the storm that lay ahead? Emily felt the weight of their dreams teetering on the brink of discovery, as the bright morning sun now felt ominous and darkened just enough for shadows to gather around them. Isabella's heart raced as she and Emily exchanged a charged glance. The garden felt too open, too vulnerable, and her mother's voice echoed through the air like a warning bell. "I can't go. Just breathe," Emily whispered, squeezing her hand. "We'll figure this out. You'll figure this out." Taking a deep breath, Isabella straightened her shoulders. "I can't let fear control me. Not now." As they stepped away from their hidden plans, Emily's mind spun with ideas. She had to protect Isabella, but first, she needed to create a distraction. "What if I go first? I can buy you some time." Isabella nodded, her face taut with uncertainty. "Just don't say anything that will make her suspicious." "Trust me," Emily replied, with a hint of confidence that she didn't quite feel. She took off towards the parlor as if propelled by the urgency of the moment, leaving Isabella to gather her thoughts. As she reached the doorway, Emily paused, catching her breath. The parlor was grand, adorned with vintage portraits and expensive furnishings. Yet, all she could focus on was the heavy air, the unspoken expectations waiting to ambush her friend. "Emily, there you are." Her mother called out, sitting elegantly on a vintage armchair, her presence suffocating yet familiar. "Yes, Mama," Emily said, forcing a smile as she approached. "Is something the matter?" Her mother's gaze was piercing. "I was just discussing the upcoming charity event. We need to coordinate our guests better this year. And I need your help." Emily's mind raced, searching for an angle to divert the conversation. "Of course, Mama. But I was thinking about our plans for it, and where is Isabella?" Her mother interrupted, eyes narrowing. Yes, Emily. Don't keep secrets." Her mother snapped, and the air chilled. "I just thought she might need some time to think," Emily stammered, feeling the tension rise. "Think about what exactly?" Her mother challenged, crossing her arms. "About her future, her choices." Before Emily could elaborate, Isabella appeared in the doorway, pale yet defiant. The two girls shared a quick look, a silent agreement forming like a fortress between them. "Mother," Isabella began, her voice steady. "I'm ready to talk. I need to make my own decisions." Her mother's expression shifted from shock to fury in a heartbeat. "You will do what I say. I will not have you tarnishing our family's name." Isabella squared her shoulders, bravely meeting her mother's gaze. "I'm not afraid of what anyone will think. I love someone enough." Her mother shouted, cutting her off. "I want to let you ruin everything." Emily felt her heart drop into her stomach. "Isabella, maybe we can know." Isabella fired back, her passionate spirit igniting like a flame. "This is my life. My baby. You won't control me any longer." The silence that followed was deafening. Olivia, who had quietly observed from her previous spot, now stepped forward, injecting herself into the tension. "Isabella is right. It's time for her to choose her own path." Olivia. Her mother hissed. Don't get involved. But Olivia stood firm. She deserves the chance to live her truth. To embrace love, without fear of judgment. Emily observed the unfolding scene, a mixture of dread and hope swirling within her. She could see Isabella standing tall despite the storm around her. Just as her mother's face darkened, there came a distant sound, hooves pounding against cobblestones. Anxiety edged its way back into Emily's mind. What is that? Isabella's eyes widened. Who is that? Suddenly, the door was flung open, and a figure emerged from the shadows, tall and fierce, a stranger connected to their past, potentially dragging their truths into a new light. Their entire reality felt on the brink of collapse. Emily braced herself as uncertainty pulsed like a beating heart. What would happen if the truth was exposed? Would they stand together, or would fear tear them apart? The moment hung in the air, thick with unsaid words, as the figure strode closer, ready to change everything. What was coming next, and how would it test their bond? The stranger stepped into the parlor, and the weight of the room shifted dramatically. He was tall, with dark hair that flopped over his forehead, eyes shadowed with a mix of concern and determination. As his focus locked onto Isabella, the air became electric. Isabella, he said, his voice deep and calm, a stark contrast to the chaos swirling around them. Her heart leapt. Liam. A flicker of recognition ignited in Emily's chest. Liam, the boy from summers past, a ghost of their carefree childhood now materialized into a reality she never expected. Olivia took a step back, uncertainty crossing her features as she glanced between the two. What are you doing here? I came to find her, Liam replied, his gaze unwavering. I had to know if she was all right. The last time, it felt unfinished. Isabella's pulse quickened. Memories flooded back, laughs shared, secrets whispered in the dark, the warmth of hands clasped tightly. But now, she felt the weight of her mother's unyielding presence looming behind her. What do you mean unfinished? Her mother stepped forward, her tone sharp. You have no business here. Liam didn't flinch. I do have business here. Isabella has a right to choose her life. She needs to know she is loved, that she can be free, he said, defending her with a fierce loyalty that stirred something deep inside her. Free. Her mother's voice dripped with venom. You think love is going to save her? You're deluded. Emily felt her heart sink as the tension reached a boiling point. This is about more than you, Mrs. Harrington. It's about what Isabella wants. What she deserves. The room felt like it could explode at any moment. Full of unspoken tension, each side clashing with their beliefs. Isabella, Liam continued, stepping closer, his eyes softening. I'm here for you. I was wrong to leave things the way they were. But I come back now, ready to fight if you want me to. Isabella felt a rush of emotions: love, fear, and hope. She wanted to lean into Liam's warmth, but her mother's disapproval loomed like a storm cloud above. You don't understand. There's so much at stake. Not as much as your happiness, Liam asserted, his voice steady. You can't let others dictate how you live your life. Who are you to say that? Her mother retorted, arms crossed defensively. You're a boy still figuring this out. Isabella has a family to consider. Emily stepped in. And what about Isabella's happiness? Shouldn't that come first? Everything felt tangled, words overlapping, voices rising. The very foundation of their reality shook with the intensity of the confrontation. The clock on the mantel ticked ominously, reminding them of time slipping away. A distant thunder rumbled outside, mirroring the tumult within. Tell me what you want, Izzy, Liam pressed, his eyes searching hers. Do you want to be free? Do you want me to stay? The question hung heavy in the air, an anchor that could either pull her down or set her afloat. Isabella swallowed hard, feeling the heat of longing and fear clash inside her. The world outside faded, and all that existed was this moment, this choice. As she opened her mouth to speak, her mother's expression hardened further, eyes narrowing into slits of fury and disbelief. You will not make a fool of this family. You cannot choose some boy over your future. The stakes skyrocketed, and everyone leaned in, every breath embracing the weight of what was to come. With the clock ticking and the thunder cracking overhead, Isabella knew she stood at a crossroads. Would she finally find her voice, or let fear seal her fate? What would happen when she chose? Isabella felt the pressure of her mother's words sink deep inside her, like stones dropped into a still pond, sending ripples of doubt throughout her heart. She was caught in a whirlwind, her past and present colliding violently. Liam's presence sparked a flicker of hope, but her mother's fierce disapproval loomed like a relentless storm, threatening to drown her spirit. Isabella. Her mother's voice sliced through the thick tension again, a sharp reminder of the responsibilities that shackled her. Think about your future. Your father and I have planned everything for you. Do not throw it all away for a foolish fantasy. But was it foolish? Could the idea of love and simplicity, of running away from the chaos, truly be a fantasy? Liam's steady gaze felt like a lighthouse cutting through the fog of her confusion. Isabella, he urged softly, this is your life. You have the power to shape it. Every ounce of fear gripped her tightly, each heartbeat resonating with the weight of their expectations. Could she break free? Was it enough to simply want more? Mom, Isabella finally whispered, her voice trembling but firm, I want to hear what Liam has to say. I want to decide for myself. Her mother's eyes widened, a mixture of outrage and disbelief washing over her features. You think you can just decide? You're still a child in so many ways. You have no idea what you're asking for. I know what I want, Isabella countered, her voice gaining strength. And I know I want to love and be loved without being afraid. I want to make my own choices, not just the ones laid out for me like some kind of map to follow. Silence enveloped the room, thick enough to choke on. Olivia and Emily exchanged glances, each of them sensing the shifting tide. Liam's face lit with something akin to admiration, it was as if he had given her the wings to fly, and she was finally ready to take off. Isabella, her mother's voice softened just a fraction, you'll regret this. You don't understand the consequences. A flash of anger ignited in Isabella. Maybe I don't care if I regret it. Maybe I'm tired of living for others. A rumble of thunder echoed outside, shaking the windows as if the world itself trembled at her declaration. Liam reached out, gently brushing the back of her hand with his finger, igniting a spark that coursed through her. Trust me, he whispered, we can figure this out together. In that moment, her doubts seemed to fade. The warmth of his belief wrapped around her, easing the cold grip of fear. For once, she felt a sense of connection that transcended everything else around her, but just as she opened her mouth to speak again, her mother's voice, now frantic, broke through the reverie. Isabella. Please don't do this. What will everyone think? You're throwing away your reputation. Isabella stood her ground. Reputation? What did it matter if she lost herself in the pursuit of it? I want to be happy, she declared, her voice steady, and I don't want to hide anymore. She took a deep breath, grounding herself in the moment. This was her chance. What do you want, Isabella? Just say it, and I will fight for you, Liam pressed, his cupped hands out as if inviting her heart to leap into his. As Isabella prepared to let her truth spill out, a sudden crash of lightning illuminated the room, spilling shadows and light across their faces. She felt as if the universe was holding its breath, waiting for the next move. The echo of her heart pounded loudly, echoing her resolve. She faced her mother, feeling both trepidation and strength surge through her. I want to be free, she finally said, her voice strong enough to cut through the noise wrapping around them, and just like that, the storm inside her began to unravel, revealing a new path. What lay ahead was unknown, filled with both promise and risks, but what would her mother do next? How would she respond to this rebellion? The room boiled with tension, and Isabella awaited the fallout, heart racing. Could this be the moment when everything changed? The silence stretched on, thick like the humid air before a summer storm. Isabella could feel her heart thumping in her chest, each beat a declaration that she was ready to step into her own life. She met her mother's gaze, defiance pouring from her like sparks igniting a fire. Her mother's face was a mix of disbelief and sorrow, a storm of emotions swirling in her dark eyes. "You think you're ready for this? You have no idea what you're asking for," her mother cautioned, though there was a hint of fear hidden beneath the anger. "Maybe that's true," Isabella replied, surprising herself with the calmness in her voice. "But I know that staying here means being trapped forever. I need to try." "Try?" Her mother's incredulity echoed off the walls. "This isn't a game, Isabella. Your future is at stake." Behind her, Olivia and Emily shifted, their presence a reminder of the weight of family loyalty and expectations. But as she glanced at Liam, she saw in his eyes the unwavering support that made her feel lighter, as if she could float above the chaos. "For once, can't we just discuss this without accusations and judgments?" Liam spoke up, his voice steady and firm. "We're not here to tear her down, but to support her." He stepped a little closer to Isabella, a shield against her mother's fury. The touch of newfound bravery wrapped around Isabella like a comfortable blanket, and she felt less alone. "Isabella," her mother continued, her tone shifting to a more pleading one, "we just want what's best for you. Do you really want to throw everything away?" As her mother's voice wavered, Isabella's resolve only deepened. "I don't want to throw anything away. I want to build something new, something real." What followed was a moment of deafening silence, where even the outside storm hushed to listen. Isabella took a deep breath, her courage building. "I love Liam. And I want to explore what that means without fear." "Is that so wrong?" Her mother shook her head slowly, as if trying to shake off the dawning realization of her daughter's commitment. "But think of your father's reputation, think of how this will reflect on our family." "Mom, it's not just about the family." Isabella felt a new intensity rise in her chest. "It's about me too. I don't want to live a life that isn't mine." For a fleeting moment, Isabella caught a glimpse of vulnerability in her mother's eyes. "What if you fail?" her mother asked, the weight of every unfulfilled dream hovering in her voice. "Then I'll get back up," Isabella replied, her eyes shining. "It's my life, I'll take the risks." Just then, a crack of thunder broke through the air, rattling the house as if nature itself was affirming her choice. Her mother's expression shifted, indecision flickering across her face. "Isabella," she began, but her voice trailed off, encased in a web of unsaid words. Liam stepped forward, placing a hand on Isabella's shoulder. "It's time to let her decide her own path," he encouraged, a fierce protectiveness surrounding his words. With each moment that passed, Isabella could feel the storm within her calm slightly. But still, uncertainty lingered like an uninvited guest. "Isabella, please consider," her mother pleaded, desperation creeping back in. "Know that if you choose this path, you may lose us." For a moment, a deep ache settled in Isabella's chest at the thought of that loss. Could the love she craved cost her the family she had? Her heart battled against the sting of fear, desire, and love all at once. "I don't want to lose you," she whispered, voice trembling. "But I can't lose myself either." The tension hung thick in the air, full of looming decisions and strained hopes. Could she truly step into the life she dreamed of? As Isabella looked between her mother and Liam, she knew she stood at the precipice of something profound, and just as a shiver ran down her spine, there was a knock at the door. It jolted everyone back to reality, the sound almost a ghostly echo. Who could it be? The door creaked open slowly, revealing someone unexpected. Isabella held her breath, heart pounding anew. What news or danger was about to enter? The door swung wide, revealing a petite woman wearing a crisp jacket and carrying a small bundle in her arms. Everyone turned, shock filling the room. It was Mary, the midwife, a familiar face from the village, her expression serious, even somber. "Lady Isabella," Mary said, stepping forward. "I came as soon as I heard." Isabella's heart raced. "Heard what?" "About your baby," Mary explained, concern etched across her features. "There's been news." "The baby, your baby is Mary, please." Isabella pressed, urgency rising in her chest. "What happened?" "I don't know all the details, but I was told that some people in town are looking for a countess's child, and there's worry. I think they have some idea about what's gone on." Fear twisted in Isabella's gut. "No. You must protect him. I cannot lose him." Liam's hand gripped her shoulder, grounding her. "No matter what happens, Isabella, we're in this together. We will find a way." "You can't let fear hold you back," Emily added, stepping closer, strength radiating through her. "This is about your child, and together we can face whatever comes next." Isabella looked around the room at her mother, at Liam, at Emily, and finally at Mary, whose demeanor was grave yet supportive. "Mary," Isabella whispered, "can you help us?" Mary nodded, determination in her eyes. "You have to act quickly. If they find him first I can help you, but you must trust me." "I trust you," Isabella replied. A deep breath filled her lungs, igniting her spirit as hope shattered the remnants of fear left clutching at her heart. "Let us do it. I will not live like this anymore." Her mother, who had been watching with intense scrutiny, saw the determination in her daughter's gaze. "Isabella," she said gently, "you must understand this could cost you everything. Are you really prepared?" "I am," Isabella affirmed. "I will fight for my child and for love. I need you to choose, Mom. Support me or let me go." Silence followed, heavy with unspoken emotions. Isabella's heart thundered, waiting for the outcome of this pivotal moment. Her mom's expression softened, the harsh lines of her face relaxing. A flicker of something akin to understanding glanced across her features. "What about our family? The scandal? The family name?" Isabella retorted. "It's already tarnished with secrets. Sharing my truth can only set us free. I want love, not shame." The wind howled outside, the voices in the room fading. Isabella met her mother's gaze, searching for any inkling of support. And slowly, her mother nodded, as if taking a leap of faith alongside her daughter's aspirations. "Then I stand by you," she uttered, her voice quavering but steady. "You will face this together, and I will help you protect your child." Relief washed over Isabella like the first rays of dawn breaking through a dark night. "Thank you, Mom," she breathed, feeling the weight lift. "Together, we can show them that love conquers all." Mary stepped forward, nodding with pride. "Then let's act quickly. We can set up a safe place for you and the baby. There's still time." With that, doors opened, not just in the physical space of their surroundings but in the hearts of everyone involved as well. Each person in the room felt the shift, the movement towards uncharted ground, tied together by the common thread of love and resilience. Liam took Isabella's hand, squeezing it tightly. "We can do this, Izzy. You're not alone any longer." With renewed determination, they began to prepare for the next steps, making plans and gathering their strength. No longer trapped in the web of society's expectations, they had forged a new path, liberated by love and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. As they moved forward, a profound sense of hope ignited within them. They faced the looming storm together, united and unstoppable. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.